Konnichiwa, Minisan.
Hello, and welcome to the Famicast 294, your Famicast for the early part of June 2025. I'm your host, Danny Bivens, and right now I'm joined by Mr. Cat Drugs himself.
What's good? All right, so all our listeners, turn your volume all the way up right now.
Oh, God. Okay.
Ready?
No. Gross.
Got him.
There it is. JC should be popping in here a little bit later, so we'll just have to kind of wait for him. But yeah, actually, as we speak right now, we are just hours away from Switch 2 launch day. Mine is already, it's in the process of being shipped. It should be here tomorrow in the early evening, basically after I get home from work. So I'm pretty excited about that. Lemonade in the chat right now. He says 12 hours until I get into Switch 2. Awesome, man. Yeah, so I know several of you guys out there are in the same type of situation. Unfortunately, I don't think James won the most recent lottery. Otherwise, either that or he's just keeping it a secret. But he didn't say anything about it in Discord. So
that's where he is right now. He's like breaking into a store or a warehouse somewhere.
That's probably what's going on here. So yeah, I get it. But
yeah, he's got his balaclava on. He's got a crowbar. He's currently prying open a crate full of delicious Switch 2s.
Oh yeah. You know, before, when I was kind of thinking about, okay, when are we going to do this podcast, like this first episode of June, I thought, well, we could wait a week or we could do it now. You know what I mean? Basically, I was trying to think like what would be the best thing to give us some time to play the Switch 2, or at least have some impressions for those of us that got it and stuff. And this is kind of what I came up with. So like today, obviously, like I said, we're just hours away from launch day. So we don't have any Switch 2 talk here today from like hands-on stuff, but I figured this might be a good chance to take a look back at the Switch 1 launch and kind of like a retrospective type of thing. We were all there. James was there. Ty was there. Cyrus was there too. Unfortunately, Cyrus will not be here to talk about his thoughts. But at any rate, let's just go ahead and just dive right in.
Oh, yeah.
And so just to kind of kick this segment of the show off, again, this is going to be like the main topic of the show today, the Switch 1 retrospective. And Ty, I know you remember this, but back in January 2017, you and I both attended the Switch 1 like experience at Tokyo Big Sight.
Yep.
Yeah, actually, I have a video from the time. It's kind of an infamous one that we did back then. I found it on my phone. I was like, oh yeah. So that was kind of nice. But this is where we basically walk around the show floor, and you can see here it's me and Ty kind of like kicking things off here, and we're going to kind of go for a stroll. And just to kind of recap like what this event was, again, this happened at Tokyo Big Sight, January 2017. This was the first time anybody in Japan had a chance to try out the system, get a hands-on with it. I don't remember if that was it might have been the first time in the world. I don't remember if there was anything for people in the West, but
did they have some weird trucks going around? Or am I thinking of something else? Is this a fever dream I had?
Might have been a fever dream. You mean like in other countries and stuff? Or?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, was there some kind of tour or something?
Gosh, good question. I do not have an answer.
It's just kind of nagging in the back of my mind.
Sure.
That was the thing.
Well, some of the games that were available to play here, Zelda, Breath of the Wild was here to play. The Street Fighter collection thing that they had around Switch launch was available. ARMS, Splatoon 2 might have been there. They had a cool Mario Odyssey, kind of like a little setup there, not playable on the show floor. Ty, do you remember do you remember your thoughts about things that we had played at the time, or do you remember anything specific?
Yeah, I was a little bit enamored with Arms at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and like I was I didn't get a ticket to play or whatever, but James
Right.
did,
Yes.
and I was doing a bunch of legwork on how to teach him how to be good at a fighting game, and and I remember I told him for your match, just throw him until he dies,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, good strategy. I mean, even if you're facing like a 7-year-old kid, it's like you gotta
Yeah.
welcome them to the real world one of these days. Why not?
Welcome to the real world. You're
Yeah.
gonna learn.
Yeah. So, yeah, I did not get to try out Arms, but I did get to try out Street Fighter with you on the.
Yeah, I remember I did play that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously part of the big marketing push for Switch One, the ability to play anywhere with anyone. That was
Yeah.
a pretty cool idea. I mean, the tiny controller though.
Yeah, it's not well suited to Street Fighter.
No, absolutely not. And I get it. They were just doing what they could with the hardware to try to make that work and stuff. But yeah, it's kind of not so great. I can't really think of any times that I sat down with people and played games like that.
Yeah, well, that's part of why I've been a proponent of Fantasy Strike on Switch. It actually plays very well on the mini cons because it's got really simplified controls.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. It's a game that's appropriate to like bust out a mini con with
Sure.
a stranger and hey, play me.
No, absolutely. And I mean, even I would even say that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, that wasn't too terribly bad if you're playing with a Joy-Con. Obviously, it's a hell of a lot better to be playing with a full-size controller or something like that. But I mean, it could work in a pinch, especially if you're playing with somebody that's not like a hardcore gamer or something. I think they'd feel okay maybe with it. But yeah. And if you're watching the video version right now, again, we have some like a tour that we did of this January event at Tokyo Big Sight. And I think we're coming up on the part in the video where Tezuka, the producer, like Nintendo producer, was literally like walked in our frame multiple times, like literally in front of me, Ty, and James, as we're just kind of walking around. Yep. And yeah, that was such a man. It's like you go to events like this, and these type of people are usually milling about, just kind of like checking out and seeing what things are going. But totally missed it.
Splatoon 2, wow! Imagine.
Yeah. So there was a lot of stuff here, and if you think about just the lead up to the Switch, I mean, Nintendo was really firing on all cylinders. Because I mean, coming off of, there I saw Tezuka walk on by. Actually, you can kind of see him. He just literally walked right in front of me in this frame. There he is, right there. Yeah, kind of like the middle of the screen. And
walking around like he owns the place.
Literally walked right in front of me, and literally walking.
Did you notice at the time?
No, dude. I was just looking around, man. I had no idea. Yeah. And then we like literally walk right behind. We're walking right behind him. He has his arm behind his back.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was one of the commenters on the Nintendo World Report video version of this that we had thrown up that had mentioned that, and of course you're gonna feel like an idiot when something like that happens. But yeah, and there he is right there. Just walk right on by him again. But Lemonade here, sound off in the comments here. He said Arms is the only fighting game I like. Okay, fair enough.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. And actually, this is an interesting thing too. In the video, there's a really cool link from Breath of the Wild standing there with this bow drawn. It's I believe it's something that they use in some of the Link amiibos and stuff like that. And Nintendo did a similar thing with Tears of the Kingdom. They had Link with his arm out, and then they eventually made that. They had like a huge statue, and they eventually made it into an amiibo. But kind of a interesting callback. But yeah, I mean, I think at least James and I, we really wanted to try out Breath of the Wild, but it was just it was multiple hour wait or something like that to even play it. So it's like, it's got to kind of make the best of your time when you're at events like this. So
True.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, so this is, I mean, overall, I thought this was a pretty fun event. 1-2 Switch was also there. I don't remember if we got to play it, Ty, but I don't know if you remember the foreigners that they had, like, you know, basically white guys that they had, and like all the commercials for it and stuff like that, even in the game.
Yeah.
Like those dudes were literally walking around the show floor, which is kind of wild.
Yeah.
And another kind of weird
gotta enjoy your 15 minutes of fame of being in a weird, dumb game.
Right. And a thing about those guys too is some of them, like, I remember even at the time, I would see a few of them in like Japanese TV commercials and stuff like that. So it's like Nintendo they found like the foreign hiring circle of people and just, hey, you guys want to be in a video game?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's how that kind of went. But yeah, one other cool thing about this event too, like the staff were all dressed in like these Nintendo Switch jackets, either red or black. And James it was nice of him to do this, but he had kind of talked to one of the guys. So I was like, man, it'd be cool to have one of those jackets. And he basically talked a guy into sending one to me, and they did. And I have it. It's just been in this room ever since. But yeah, so it's kind of a cool thing to have here. And actually, speak of the devil, JC. We're just talking about how you essentially talked the staff into sending me one of their jackets from that January 2017 event.
Oh yeah, I had to kill a man, but it was fine.
Yes.
It's good.
All's well that ends well.
Sorry, just flew in from Tokyo. Boy,
yes.
my arm's tired.
Yes.
Talking of arms, heyo.
Yes.
Hey.
That was there, right? Yeah.
Yep. And we were just talking too, because Ty was teaching you how to be a good fighting game player at this event.
Yeah, he told me some very complex moves to do. He said, throw them till they die.
Yes.
Yep.
And that's what I did, and I won.
Nice.
So thanks, Ty.
My pleasure.
Yep.
Man, can't believe this was just last year. It's amazing.
Yes.
We've aged so much in 1 year.
Yes. Yeah. No, it is kind of great. 8 years. That's when this event happened. 2017. Yep.
So this is March something? Or?
Nope. January 2017.
Oh, shit. Right. Okay. Yeah. This is way before launch.
Yeah. Yep. Crazy. Looks like that's the end of that video. But yeah, so just kind of, I guess, to maybe get James's thoughts too from that event. What was your takeaways from the Switch? Like, what were your hype levels after playing stuff on the show floor?
Well, I think I was most hyped for Zelda, and I couldn't play that. I mean, I saw other people playing it.
Right.
So yeah, it was kind of weird. Like my hype levels were kind of like, well, you're not getting any more hype because you're not playing the game you want to play.
Sure.
And it's like ARMS. It's like, okay, that was fun. I don't know if I'm going to get it, but it looks fun. And then Street Fighter. It's like, well, yeah. Well, yeah, I think that was the first time I used the Pro controller. I thought, yeah, this feels really good. I like this Pro controller. This is
you got
cool.
to use the Pro. I mean, me and Ty were just talking. We got to use the stupid Joy-Con and face each other on a tiny screen. Yeah, definitely not the ideal way to play that game.
But yeah, I think we were using motion control for ARMS. I can't remember. I think we were forced to use motion control.
I didn't get to play it. You did, and I remember that's what you said, that you had to do it, because at the time too, they were kind of downplaying the fact that you could use the sticks and other ways, because they wanted to encourage.
I did get that game eventually, and not once did I use motion controls. So yeah, it was kind of weird. It was like it didn't affect my hype levels, to be honest. It was just okay. I played it, and now I need to play the game I actually want to play. So roll on, 3rd of March when I'll be not getting it like an idiot. Yeah.
Wow.
More on that later, I guess.
Right. Well, actually, that might be a good kind of transition, because I mean, James, before, well, I guess up to even now for a completely different reason, but you were not the type of guy that would usually pick up a game at launch or a system at launch. And care to share about that a little bit?
I think buying games at launch, I know that was just a slip of the tongue, Danny, but I did used to buy games at launch that I was, really anticipating back in 64 days. I got Perfect Dark at launch, GoldenEye at launch, all those kind of games at launch. I don't remember GameCube less so because I had an import system, so getting things on day one was a little bit more difficult in terms of getting them shipped over from Japan to the UK. And I just kind of trailed off. I never really got systems at launch. Like I got my N64 like on the first price, like this first price discount. So my first game was Blastcore. It wasn't like it wasn't even Mario 64. I'd played the shit out of that game before I even got an N64. And then GameCube, obviously, like I said, I imported it. I got a modded one, so that wasn't on day one either. It wasn't even day one in Japan. It was it was like I got it before Europe got it. So I got it before all my friends, but I didn't get it on day one. I think again, well, that was really hard to find. That was a tough console to get at launch. And I was in Japan, and it was hard to get here. And I wasn't really motivated to get it day one anyway. It's like I get it whenever. And then Wii U, not really much games that I wanted on day one at all. I think Switch is probably like the first console where I probably should have got it day one. But like just for whatever reason, I just didn't pre-order it like an idiot, and then ended up paying the price for that much later because I had to enter fucking lotteries, which throwback is happening right now. It's like now I'm entering a lottery to win it on day one, but back then I was entering lotteries just to fucking get it 4 months later. It's like that's how popular Switch was. Like it never became easy to buy. Like in the first year, insane. Like in Japan, like I was going for the Splatoon 2 bundle. Like forget about it. Forget about it.
I mean, I just got the empty box, paid like 500 yen. I was like, that's all I need. I already had the system, so it didn't matter.
So I never really got any systems at launch. I don't think launch games typically like there haven't been many launch games like that have made me want to buy the system until Switch. So that's probably why. It's like, well, the game I want is coming out next year or in a few months. I'll just wait till then. That's probably my reasoning.
Okay. Ty, I mean, I know that you didn't. Wow, slight spoiler. You didn't get a Switch at launch, but like for you, like, when it comes to hardware that you typically want, do you typically try to buy stuff at launch? And is there any like reasoning for you behind that?
Xbox.
Yes.
Day one.
Yeah, I mean FOMO is a thing, and like I bought pretty much every Nintendo platform at launch since the Virtual Boy. And
until the Wii.
No, I got a Wii at launch as well.
Oh, damn. Wow. Okay. So until the Wii U then.
Yeah, and I got the Wii U at launch, and that was the one that finally fucking soured me. I hated that piece of shit so much.
I helped Ty get one too.
Yeah, you were there.
I got a Virtual Boy and a Wii U at launch, like two of Nintendo's worst consoles.
It's a good like starting and end point, I suppose.
Right.
Well, I should say worth selling. Yeah.
At least the Virtual Boy had Wario Land. That game fucking slaps.
Yeah.
But I got like fucking Zombie U with the Wii U.
Because of the language locking and stuff like that, it's kind of weird playing like a dude bro military game with Japanese.
Yeah, it was okay, but
shit, yeah.
But like the whole system was so locked down and just unpleasant to own in every way possible. Like that fucking tablet would like light up at like random times of the day with ads and shit. And like, I think there was a way to turn it off, but I just like fucking let the battery die and then put it in the closet forever. Fuck that system.
Hey, how dare you, sir?
Did it have like in-game language settings for Zombie U?
No,
I don't think so.
It did not. If it would have,
It's
I
a
would have
Western
played
game.
it.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah, I would have played it in English if that was the case. I think that was kind of like, for me, I mean, I like shooters and stuff like that. I think part of it, one reason I didn't like that game is because like there's no pause button. If I just want to take a break from something that's kind of like a little hectic, especially if it's like with dealing with something that's not my native tongue, that's kind of annoying.
Yeah. And then
let me get the
later,
dictionary out. Too late, you're dead.
Paper dictionary too, probably. It's not shit.
Yeah. And then later I bought a couple of, the flagship games. I got Smash and Mario Kart, and I was let down by both of them, I think. So like I was not I was pretty sour.
Okay.
I wasn't falling all over myself to get a Switch, even though to their credit they fixed pretty much every issue with the Wii U.
Sure.
Well, not every issue, but they did better.
Yeah. I mean,
are you talking about the quick boot feature?
No, I'm talking about like online play in general. How does it work? I'm Nintendo. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. I know for me, like when I go in to buy a console, I bought Nintendo consoles at launch since the Game Boy Advance, leading handhelds and also home consoles and stuff like that too. So I mean, for me, when I buy one of these things, I mean, yeah, FOMO is part of it. Another thing is too, it's like, well, I know I want to get this eventually, even if there's not a game coming out like at launch that I specifically want. It's like more often than not, I know that there's something being cooked up that I'm interested in, or even just like the thought of possibilities gets me excited. And I think that's kind of what kept me going, online message boards and stuff like that too. And now, a podcast, that's a big reason why I always kind of dive in personally. But
I think I've been lucky also that I've always had friends who've got consoles day one. So
sure.
like I just play this. That was definitely true with the Game Boy Advance. Like I had a friend who imported the Japanese one. So I was playing Mario Kart Advance like before people in the UK.
Nice.
Thanks to my friend. But yeah, I didn't get one at launch.
Sure. And I mean, actually, yeah, because with the Switch, because I got it, and then I went over to yours for some kind of a party, the bunch of people, and I brought
the one you did the Karen thing, right?
Yeah, I did. Well, you told me to bring it, man. You told me.
Sure, I did, Danny. Right.
this
Karen.
guy. But, still, I think,
I said bring food, Danny. I didn't.
Oh,
say
that's
bring
right. Well, I was thinking about it a little bit more of a different type of way, but
no, let's play virtual shaving. Brilliant.
You're welcome.
Oh man, that is such a fucking terrible game, isn't it? Launch game. I think this on Switch 2, that fucking instruction manual they're charging $10 for is kind of reminiscent of that. Like, why is it not packed in? Fucking pack it in, man.
We'll get
into a tech demo.
We'll get into all of this and more.
All of this and more.
All this more. See you
in
next
the rest
time,
of this
guys.
episode. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I guess just to kind of fast forward just a little bit to the Switch launch, because obviously we're talking about what type of stuff we buy, why do we buy things, blah, 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 blah. Switch came out on March 3rd, 2017, as we all know. Some of the notable launch games, I mean, obviously the big ones, from Nintendo, the big one from Nintendo, Breath of the Wild. Some other ones that you might not remember or might wish you could forget. 1-2 Switch being one of them. Snipper Clips also from Nintendo was out there as well. And then from other companies and stuff like that, Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2, kind of like the Dragon Quest Warriors type of game. Puyo Puyo Tetris S. That was in Japan at launch, and then later, a couple months later, in English-speaking territories, Super Bomberman, or as a former Famicast member might have said, Nobunaga's. What's that?
Or what?
Yes, Nobunaga's Ambition, Sphere of Influence. If you're into that type of stuff, Disgaea 5 is that Japanese launch, came out in May. Elsewhere, I Am Setsuna, Just Dance 2017, Skylanders, Imaginators, Shovel Knight Treasure Trove, and Shovel Knight Spectre of Torment. its launch in the English-speaking territories came out in Japan in May. Fast RMX, and then Blaster Master Zero, which is day and date launch in Japan, but then like a few days later outside of Japan.
Yeah, I forgot that Shinen game, Fast RMX was launched. That's crazy, and they were launching Switch 2 launch as well.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Those guys are fucking insane, man.
Yeah,
great.
Nice.
Looking forward to not F-Zero at launch for Switch 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my Switch launch, actually, I have some photos I can share here.
Oh, wow. Did you queue up?
No. Okay, so actually I'll back up just a sec, because like I had pre-ordered a Switch on Amazon because I was just able to do it. Boom. It's like really quick, easy to do. And also I went to like my local electronics store and just queued up and pre-ordered, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have to pay any money down. It's just like, yep, there you go. So it's quite different, especially compared to now. And even if you go back to like Switch OLED and just, Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5 more specifically, for Japan, but like the landscape has changed for pre-order.
Well, no, Xbox did sell very well in Japan.
Well, at launch it was still well, no, there was a pre-order period and stuff like that, and it was just as stupid as things are now. But yeah, I was so happy how easy it was to be able to pre-order stuff, even just 8 years ago, and how much things have changed since is just terrible. But yeah, and it was painless, man. Like I think I ended up canceling my Amazon order because I was like, well, I don't need 2 of these things. And I just went to the place locally because I knew I could just go to the shop and just pick it up myself.
You fool, you could have been a scalper.
Not into that. But hold on just a second. Yes, I got this queued up here. But my Switch launch kind of thing here. James loves this picture, I'm sure.
Good Lord.
Yes.
Well, Tetris is all right.
Yeah. So yeah, I got obviously the Switch, Zelda, and I got Puyo Puyo Tetris S, and then I also got 1-2 Switch, James's second favorite launch title on the Switch. Yeah, I will say this. I mean, yeah, is it a good game? Not really. It's fun.
I do have a good memory of that game, though. It's not from playing it, and not from you bringing it over to my house to play it at a fucking party. It was the event that we were just looking at. That was hilarious. I mean, that was. Did you show that bit of the video?
There was nothing. We didn't see the guys in it.
Oh, okay. Well, I think I did an edit, or like a kind of comedy edit of the show after the fact, right? I'm not. Is that still on the NWR feed? Is that
might be like the one that I shared today was just on my phone, like on my photos.
Oh,
I found it.
Okay.
That's
so yeah, we were we still lingering around Nintendo World Report at that point, or were we?
We still were. We basically we went
as Nintendo World Report, but came back as men.
Not yet. That didn't happen until the end of March.
Right, exactly. So yeah, whatever happened at that event made us want to quit Nintendo World Report. No,
that's not true.
No. Like in that case, the comedy edit must be on Nintendo World Report's YouTube channel. But there are some hilarious outtakes of me lingering on the guy, the Afro guy who's doing the dancing. I just lingered on him for like an awkwardly long time, and he just kept on dancing. So I just kept on filming. I was like, I'm gonna film you until you stop dancing, and he didn't stop dancing. It was great.
Yeah, I was talking to Ty before you popped on, James, and just to reiterate, it's kind of interesting because all the guys, and maybe I don't know if there are any women, but the people that were featured in Switch or 1-2 Switch, they are kind of just like actors in Japan doing things. I've seen a few of them on commercials since, and even around that time. So it's like, it's some kind of agency or whatever that Nintendo went through, and hey, boom. I guess the point I wanted to make is like, do I regret buying 1-2 Switch? Not really. I mean, I had some fun with it with some friends and stuff like that. It's fine. Is it like a great game? No. And that's that. Physically that's what I picked up. And then I also picked up Blaster Master Zero, which I just double checked my playtime through like the Nintendo app that they have here in Japan and looked and was like, cool, I played it once on launch day for 45 minutes. Awesome.
Amazing.
So yeah, there's that. But yeah, I mean, I was really satisfied with just what the Switch was, especially compared to the Wii U. Because even when the Wii U came out, like the gamepad just did not seem futuristic. It just, there's the big ass bezel thing around it. And yeah, it housed like the controller and stuff like that too. But it just didn't feel sleek at all, And I think the Switch was quite different. I did think that the bezels on the Switch were also a little large at the time, because like you think about phones that are even coming out around that time. I think the bezels around them were nicer and smaller and stuff. But so I get it. But I was like, okay, it's still cool to be able to have something that I can play something with visual fidelity of something like Zelda and play this handheld. Like that was really cool.
Yeah, true that.
Yeah, but yeah, even for, I guess this made sense at the time, comparing a Wii U Pro controller to the Switch controller and the puppy dog thing, the grip. But
oh shit,
yeah,
nice. Oh yeah, the Wii U Pro. I actually like that one.
I did too. It was fine. It was a good controller. But yeah, anyways. So yeah, I mean, I didn't have a problem with the launch games. I thought it was awesome. Had a lot of fun with Zelda. And then that's when Nintendo just started kind of ramping up, and they really had a good lineup for the rest of the year to really round things out. So, so I guess this moves me on to kind of the next thing I wanted to talk about. So for you guys, when did you actually pick up the Switch?
I don't remember the exact date, but I think I talked about it on a show. Like, well, I think it was part of the quiz we did, which episode it was that I talked about my Switch. I think I was talking about it not getting it for the first few episodes of the new Famicast, on our own feed, Famicast. So all I can say is summer 2017 is when I got it. Sure. So yeah, that was as soon as I could get it. Yeah. Oh, I forgot. Splatoon 2 was at the event. Couldn't play it.
Yeah.
You
couldn't. Okay.
No, that was the game which had the longest queues, I think.
Okay, because we in the video, dude. Because I was chatting with Ty too before you popped on, where Tezuka literally, walked in front of us, not just me. Walked in front of you two because you had the camera.
Yeah, I literally filmed him. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, well, that's embarrassing. Like, oh my god. But
good times.
Yeah. So Ty, I think James might have scribbled a little cheat thing in the agenda for you. But do you remember whenever you got your Switch, and what pushed you over the edge? Ty, I think you're on mute, bud.
Ty's so angry.
Oh shit! Yes, I muted myself at some point. Okay. Yeah, I remember. I remember where I got it. It was at Gale, and out in the middle of nowhere by a school I worked at.
Nice.
And I bought it so I could play Cadence of Hyrule.
Nice. Yep. Exactly.
That would have been the only reason.
Yeah, that was in 2019, apparently.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, and James,
Ty, it took you 2 years, 3 months, and 10 days to get a Switch.
Yep. I think it says more about Nintendo than it does about me.
I think Switch 2 is going to be longer.
Could be.
For Ty, yeah. Because I think because of the price, it's like, very off-putting for somebody who doesn't really...
Well. Let's not jump ahead of ourselves. Hold your horses there, Charlton. This is something I do want to kind of talk about here.
Okay.
But,
right.
So
okay. I don't think the price is a factor. It's just going to be, is there a game I need to have?
Yeah, we'll get into it. Next, I guess just thinking about, obviously the Switch is old now. #old with the Switch 2 coming out literally in a matter of hours for us. What is your most played Switch game? Just one. What's your top most played Switch game? And let's start with Ty.
According to my data, it's Advance Wars,
Okay.
but I don't think my data is right. I think I probably put in more time in Smash Brothers.
Okay.
Did you hit the all-time played, like sort by
Yeah,
all-time
yeah,
played?
and it still did not display them in order. I think something is literally wrong with my Switch profile.
Interesting. Ah, maybe you choose a different profile. Maybe.
Yeah, who
Because
knows?
I mean, I know if you switch systems, that it's an issue, but you did not.
No, I
so-
just neglected to play my system for like a year at a time.
Sure. Still. Yeah, well, I know that because I saw on your profile that it said you played Advance Wars for 20 hours. But I mean, yeah, if you're playing Smash and doing stuff, even like the way Ty plays games compared to me, like Ty's like, I just messed around with that game for a little bit. That could be like 150 hours.
True.
Yeah. But, JC, how about you, man?
Well, Danny restricted us to just one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was actually kind of wondering for a good while. I didn't know if it was. I thought it was going to do Splatoon 2. Like it wouldn't budge from my top one. I was playing like Splatoon 3 so much. I was like, Splatoon 2 is still at number one? Like, what? Like, how? It's like I felt like I played Splatoon 3 way more because of the because I fell in love with the salmon run mode in Splatoon 3, which I think is greatly improved. And then I think it was sometime last year, Splatoon 3 finally jumped to number one. So yeah, Splatoon 3 is at my number one spot with 380 hours, and yeah, Splat 2 is like just below that.
Okay.
Yeah, probably like 370. So
Okay.
it's not much between them. But you know,
Sure.
obviously, I'm not going to play Splatoon 2 from now, so
Right.
Splatoon 3 will only get more.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah, for me, it's Tetris 99. Like I've played that for 200 hours. I know, again, it's like even compared to like you guys, this is rookie numbers.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know. It's like I have a lot of games that I played for 5-10 hours, and then I have like a chunk of games that I played for like 50 to 80 to close to 100. But like I usually don't get around the 200s unless it's like freaking Netflix or Hulu on the Wii U or something stupid like that. But like that, that doesn't even count. That's not.
Yeah, I think that's the difference, Danny. Like in my 380, you would have done like 100, 180. You know, there would have been four or five games, right? So you played more games for longer.
Sure.
But you just didn't do one. You don't have a Killer Instinct. You don't have a Dead by Daylight. You don't have a Splatoon.
You got to commit to the bit.
Yeah. Man, I used to do that. Then I don't know. I like trying to play just a variety of different things because like especially I love sports games. Those games are a freaking time sink, man. Especially if you're doing like career modes and stuff. It's like, okay, you want to do a career mode, NBA 2K. I want to play full, periods, like 12-minute periods. And like it's literally 12 minutes minus some time that your character's not out there. One season can take you easily like 90 hours. You play multiple seasons, like holy moly, man. That stuff gets out of control real quick.
Would you say that's your average, Danny, for like basketball games, like 90 hours per game? Or
no, because
what would your average be?
I think just with maybe like 15, 20. Because
NBA?
I get to a point for what I'm doing a review for, it's like I need to play this enough to do I have a good feel for this? Do I have a good feel for how this is and stuff like that? I don't think you need to play a game like that for like 90 hours to be able to review it.
Same for the baseballs?
Kind of the baseball too. It depends. If I'm really getting into it, then sometimes it could be ridiculous. Like one of the RBI baseball games I played for like 120 hours. I don't know why. It wasn't even that good, but it was fun. But like, usually
that's the Danny I know.
Yeah.
I fucking hated this game. Played it for 250 hours.
Not quite that, but it's like, I think usually with those type of things, I like to at least get like 10. And then if I'm really enjoying it, then just keep jamming. So.
Well, Ty's like that as well. It's like, fucking hate Overwatch. So here's my playtime, 4,000 hours.
Yeah. I had to make sure I hate it,
Dead by Daylight's the same. I mean, you say you like it, but then the next day you're like, I fucking hate this game.
Right. I mean, that's also a thing you have to understand about fighting game. We love to play fighting games and then complain about the games we play
out of hate.
nonstop.
Get it?
I mean,
Makes sense.
I gotta be honest. When Dead by Daylight is doing like a 2v8 or like a Chaos Shuffle with special mode, I have so much fun with it. I'm just like playing it constantly. When it's just like the same ho hum game with the really dull meta, is I grow weary of it.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, with Splatoon, like when I played Splatoon and Splatoon 2, it's like I barely even played Splatoon 3, but with those, I just played like regular turf wars, and not obviously not as much as JC, but like, 30, 40 hours, I think, in each of those games. Most of it just doing the same modes, like, and probably using the same weapons and not doing too much customization. This kind of, some of those games you could just get into a groove, and it's just like, I don't have to think. I can just play this and then just kind of just relax.
Also, a thing to consider is even the shittiest video games are way more fun when you play them with friends.
True.
That is true.
Yeah.
I
mean,
like if you get into like an online game like that, like Splatoon, for me, for example, like, I could do 20 hours for like one weapon. Like I could get really good with one weapon, and then decide like, oh, I think I'll try a minigun. And then I'll try and get better at being the minigun. And that'll be like 30 hours just with the minigun. It's like, and then you get into like, Salmon Run. It's like, okay, I'm just going to play Salmon Run. That's it from now on. And then put like 100 hours just into that mode. So, yeah, I think that's good. Like if it's like an online game, if it's like something you play with friends, something with a lot of customization or like lots of variety to it, you could easily put in multiple 100 hours. Sure. And it's got some good updates as well. It's always like, for me, it always had something interesting, something new to intrigue me, keep me playing. Yeah. So that's why it's my number one.
Okay.
And Tetris 99, similar thing. They always have events like new skins, everything like that, right?
Yeah, that I think with that, like those always kept me coming back. Especially when that game first came out, I just really liked just the gameplay loop. Sometimes too, if you're having like a shitty day and you're just like, I just want to play this game, I'm getting number one today. Like, before the first time I got number one, it was always the quest. It's like, I'm gonna get there one of these days, man. And then it happens, you're like, holy moly, like I did it, I can't believe it. And it happens a couple more times, and then it was just after that point, I was like, okay, I'll occasionally play this, but I really want to get all of the essentially, skins, all the themes that they have and stuff like that. And it was just playing when the events come on, and so
you should do a video of your like skins page one day.
I'm probably a lot of people out there with that video already up there. Maybe I'll do it someday. We'll see. But
or the first comment is like, loser, you don't have the Kirby one from 2019.
Actually,
what a loser. Like
yeah. Oh, actually, High Tony's in the chat here, and he has a comment here regarding those 1-2 switch actors. Resident Evil 1 on the PlayStation back then also did it that way too, by essentially kind of hiring people from talent agencies here in Japan. They just took actors, models, and a teacher that just happened to be around Osaka at the time. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, just as a side note here too, and you guys probably know about this as well, but there are talent agencies that you can register to as a foreign person and try to get some kind of gigs and commercials as Santa Claus, as one of my buddies used to do. Josh, he was a bigger guy, and sometimes he'd be able to be Santa Claus in the, around the holidays and stuff like that. So
nice.
There are opportunities if you have the look, whatever that is. So
and one of those actors was Matt Walker.
Yes, that's how he got his job. No, that'd be a wild story.
Yeah, I think he is. I think he said he is in one of them. I forgot which one it is.
His model.
Yeah.
Like they made a zombie based on him.
Yeah,
and it was like
it was
like a frozen zombie. Yeah,
hanging from the ceiling in the back hallway in RPD.
I thought it was like Resident Evil 2 remake.
Yeah,
that one. Because that was after he had left. So I mean, he was probably there when they were developing the game. So then maybe some of his buddies were like, "Yo, let's put Matt in there."
Yeah, like I remember he told me, and I'm like, "Oh, I think I know the exact zombie you're talking about." Yeah.
He almost became a Matt sandwich.
On that note, let's take a quick break here for a little bit of now playing at the Famicast.com, and then we're going to come back with a couple of other little things, but kind of talking a little bit about Switch 2 and maybe what would push some of us over the edge to get one. But before that, .com.
.gov.
.gov.
Imagine if that was the URL.
Might be. Now playing at the Famicast.com, lots of stuff going up on the website, Patreon, YouTube channel, all sorts of stuff, all sorts of cool stuff going on. I just want to give a special shout out to our patrons. We just had an awesome game night over the weekend where we played Killer Instinct Gold, some Mario Kart, and also some Doom 2 all together. We were all there, at least for
good times.
Part of it. It was awesome. It was awesome. So yeah, looking forward to the next one. That should be in maybe August. So $3 a month. You can, obviously you support us to get ad-free videos, shit ton of podcasts and stuff that we have there. And be able to participate in the game nights and stuff like that.
If you want to find out who won in Killer Instinct Gold, me or Ty, subscribe now to find out. The answer will shock nobody.
Yes, there it is. Then just a kind of a tease here too. Last month for patrons, we do have a special podcast. Called E3 Historia. We just did part 1 of 2001 and part 2. It's in the bag. I'm almost done getting all the editing ready on that. So look forward to that this month in June. It's awesome. We're talking about games on the show floor. It's like a retrospective of the event, games on the show floor, funny anecdotes from stuff that happened at the time. It was a lot of fun to kind of look back on. Ty's obviously the guy because he was the guy going to all the E3s back in the day. So
true story.
Yeah.
So Danny, I have to pay $3 for the Patreon video, the game night, and then another $3 for the that awesome Patreon podcast about E3.
Just you, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Everyone else just a one-time thing.
Fair
so
enough. Oh, okay.
Per month.
Well, good deal. Good deal for everyone else but me.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, that isn't there.
One more thing. So there is I just put out a new video earlier this week taking a look at top Japan only Switch 1 games. Best of the best.
Did that?
Yes.
That just popped up on my feed. I watched it.
Yeah.
I gave it a thumbs up.
Right. We had some cool comments on that actually that I wanted to touch on. Actually, I'm glad you said that. We'll get that on the other side of this. Three good comments actually. All this and more.
Famicast, the www.com.
That's right.
Rearrange that as appropriate.
Normally, this is the time of the show where I'd say it's time for the
Switch 2 or something like that.
Yes. So yeah, I almost because I'm glad that you brought up the feedback because I almost completely forgot about it. But just to kind of tie in the feedback today with the feature about Switch 1 and kind of stuff like that, we did have a nice comment on the video I just mentioned here. So again, I did a video about kind of like some of the best Switch 1 Japan exclusives and stuff like that came out. And we got a nice comment from our good buddy Transient Image talking about basically some of his favorite Japan exclusive games. And I did say that like on the video, if you check it out and you know of some Japan only games that I didn't mention in the video, shout it out, man. So I think there was Tokimeki Memorial remakes, like 5 of them or something. Somebody said like that was cool. I did think about that, but it's like I don't know if that deserves to be a top 5 for me. But anyways, so Transient Image says, he said, hey, the Switch has been a godsend for the import scene. I've imported so many titles from Japan and so many with English that were exclusive to the region. Here are some of my favorites that may have gotten an eShop release, but were exclusive physically in Japan. And the games he has here, Clanad. Oh my God, I don't know if I even know what that one is. Yeah. He said it did get a limited run release, but not like a wider retail release in the West. Little Busters, Okami, Breath of the Wild Plus expansion pack. Really, I found that kind of wild. I Am Setsuna, Kamiko, Final Fantasy 10 and 10-2. The Western version had 10-2 as a download, but Japan has 10-2 on the card.
Right.
That's pretty cool. And then Furaki 4. Not sure what that is, but like glad you got it and had fun with it.
Furaki 4.
Furaki?
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
I think he's making some of these up.
They're none of them are real.
None of them are, yeah.
Yeah. And then got a couple of comments here from a couple of jokers as well. One from Family Complicated, don't know who that is. Can you play Assassin's Creed Odyssey outside of Japan, cloud version? And this is followed up by somebody else too. Another good one here too. Yes, this coming up. Famicast Vids nonstop asking how. Perfect. Yeah, I mean,
Good throwback, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's man. Sometimes.
When was the last time you got a serious version of that comment, Danny?
Oh, it's been a while.
Okay. It was like at least the first 6 years of the past podcast.
It was multiple years, and
so good.
You'd be surprised. I mean, honestly, you hear horror stories about YouTube comments and stuff like that, but a lot of comments that we get on Famicast YouTube stuff's fine, pretty tame. Sometimes kind of weird. Well, like people ask, especially like NBA 2K things. Like, for example, there's a mode that's exclusive to like PS5 and Xbox. I say in like the first minute, I'm like, this mode is not here. Is this mode here? It's like, man, yeah, that's always fun. Anyways, yeah, thank you, Tommy, for sending in that, and thank you for the other two strangers, whoever they were, that sent in those other two comments too about Assassin's Creed. Appreciate it.
Yep.
So. Switching gears here to Switch 2 for a moment. So yeah, obviously, again, Switch 2 is coming out here like super soon, obviously. I know, as far as I understand, the only thing keeping James from getting it is just accessibility with the lotteries and stuff like that. But Ty, like, what would it take for you to even consider getting a Switch 2?
Good question. It just needs to be like an exclusive game that I have to. That's all there is to it. What would that game look like? Who can say? What would I pay out for? I would go all in for Smash Brothers with rollback netcode. I would go in for like maybe a Pokemon MMO or something. Or like if Nintendo just decides to stop letting Pal World eat their lunch and make a fucking game like that, I'd go for that. I don't know, maybe another Necrodancer game or something.
Sure.
Or like a good fighting game. Like, I think like Pokken and ARMS like almost had it, but they kind of poisoned the formula at the last minute. And I'm like, okay, I'm not getting this. But yeah, if they release something like a top-notch fighting game, or just the kind of thing that everybody wants them to release but they never do.
Sure.
Something like that.
Yeah. On a kind of a similar note, I mean, even with the Switch 2 launch, there are some people in some camps that are like, there are no good games like outside of Mario Kart. Even like Mario Kart, it's not even worth being an $80 game. Yeah, it's okay. That's your opinion. That's fine. But like, I don't know. I've seen a hell of a lot worse launch lineups than what the Switch 2 has. I mean, I kind of get it to an extent, because a lot of the games, especially from third parties, are things that are out on other platforms. I understand that.
They're new to Nintendo fans.
Yeah, or people that, yeah, exactly. Or people that like, hey, I want to play this on the go. And you're like, well, you can play it on your Steam Deck. It's like, well, maybe the person doesn't have a Steam Deck. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah. I mean, so like I said earlier in the show, I do have my Switch 2, pre-ordered and all that stuff. I have Mario Kart coming. It's digital. I'm going to be playing that. I'm probably going to pick up the game that James is kind of dogging a little bit, and maybe for good reason, the Nintendo Switch Welcome Tour. Well, I mean, I figure it's like $10, like 1,000 yen or something like that. I have like 1,400 yen worth of credit, so I'm like, and I have to use that within I don't know, a couple months. So it's like, all right, I'm just gonna probably just buy that.
What was that? What was that Wii U game that seemed to be very similar? It was like a mix of mini games or something. And
Nintendo Land. Nintendo Land.
Yeah, I think that was actually a half decent.
Yeah,
it was a good concept, like a Nintendo theme park. Huh, as if that would ever happen in real life.
right.
But
keep dreaming.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
and
like
they put a fucking F-Zero mini game in it, and it wasn't even F-Zero or very good.
Yikes.
Yeah. I think I mean, I don't know too much about this. And again, kind of just talking just off of just what little bit I've read about it. But, I think general consensus is you look at something like the Astros Playroom that Sony included with the PlayStation 5, like almost like a competent platformer in its own, so polished that they said like, hey, let's make this into its own game. And they did. When you're comparing this to something like that, I think there is just no comparison that can be made that's fair. But I don't know. I'm gonna get this
Nintendo
thing,
doesn't need to do that because they got fucking Mario Odyssey. It's like, we can make games much better than this, and we're going to charge you full price.
Sure.
So, yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. Hi Tiny commented here a little bit ago to, hey, give me a new Smash Brothers game and we're good. Lol. Yeah. And he also goes on to say Mario Kart World looks really good, but it's not really a system seller for me. I guess I'll eventually get it though. And then Lemonade and Hi Tiny both talk about Nintendo Land. Yeah, Lemonade says Nintendo Land was great. Hi Tiny as well. Yeah, Nintendo Land, awesome soundtrack too.
Yeah, that's true. Very good music. Yeah, the loading screen music is like absolute bop. Like that song, it's amazing. Hopefully, Danny could actually plop it in this episode in the audio version. It's so
I had some other bangers I'm putting in here somewhere. Maybe we'll see. Maybe I might forget. Right. Yeah, and just to kind of echo on the High Tiny's sentiment here too. I think up until today, I was kind of thinking that Mario Kart World, it's like, yeah, I'm getting this, but am I like hyped about it? It's like, I don't know.
And I'm the same way actually. Yeah.
Okay. Because I mean, I liked Mario Kart 8 and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but at the same time, I felt kind of like that is like, especially Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, that's peak Mario Kart. That is like basically the perfection of the formula that they've been doing for a long time. And
I think the kind of the hook for Mario Kart World isn't actually just the game. I think it's coupled with game chat, and been able to make those kind of like, friend party things, and just being able to like meet up in the open world and then just start a race and start like an A to B race.
Yeah,
I think that potentially could be really cool.
Sure.
If it's as fun as it looks and it actually works as advertised, and the internet, the net actually, is actually usable and good, that potentially could be absolutely fantastic. I know it's like, lol, welcome to Xbox 360 era internet, but like, yes, it takes Nintendo 3 extra generations to get good net-based gameplay, but they do it their own way. They do it the family friendly way, the easy peasy way. It's like, I think, it's not just like game, like the game night that we do for our patrons, but I just mean, just generally playing with friends. Like, you can you don't have to turn on the fucking camera if you don't want to, but just like, just the voice chat, and it's like, oh yeah, should we just race on, like, should we go to the Ice Kingdom and just like race all the ice stages? Something like that. Like, let's start here. Like, where do you want to end up? That potentially could be really cool.
Yeah. Ty, I mean, with any of the news coming out about Mario Kart World, do you have any opinions or thoughts on kind of like what Nintendo's doing with the series?
I have a very what's the word I'm looking for? Not apprehensive view of like how is the game gonna play, like at the bare like nuts and bolts level, like how are slides gonna work, how are items gonna work, like what's what's it actually going to be like when you do a race and you're not like farming cows or whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Like I'm
I
not
think,
super interested in the single player content. So
I think the new mobility stuff also has potentially to be, actually do something different for once. Like, so I don't know if Ty knew this, but you can actually do kind of wall jumping, or like you can actually drive on the wall. So like you hold the triggers to do a power slide, but if you hold it down and just kind of go straight, you charge up and you can jump like anywhere. But if you do that while holding right and jump to a wall, you actually, if you have the momentum, you'll actually drive along the wall. So you can actually, make your own shortcuts. Like if you see like a wall leading up to another part.
nice. So we're speedrunning Wario
Yeah,
Stadium again.
Exactly. So there could potentially be some really, like, people could break the shit out of this game. And I know things like that excite Ty, more than anything, is like breaking games and, making the game do things it wasn't designed to do, but in fun ways. Yeah. I think that could be pretty cool as well. Yeah. There's like a have you guys seen when somebody drives into the back of a truck and then you controlling the truck?
Yeah.
So like there's another thing like that, a UFO.
Yeah, I saw it today.
And you could like just like fly anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
And then like jump out and then like glide somewhere.
Yeah.
It's like, things like that. That could be cool.
So I think
a little bit of pilot wings in there.
I think what's kind of just what soured me on Mario Kart, because like, I mean, yeah, you're racing and that it's a freaking racing game, and that's what it's about. But like, I think back to Diddy Kong Racing, and as simple as that is compared to games of this generation and stuff like that, I did kind of feel like it was always kind of fun just to drive around that hub and just see different things. And like Mario Kart hasn't had that ever, and I think just kind of like that's kind of what they're doing here. Maybe not exactly the same way, but kind of similar. And I think that's cool. I'm more interested in doing like free roam stuff than I am doing the races, honestly. I've done races in Mario Kart for, I don't know, almost 30 years. And I'm ready to do something a little bit different. Maybe some races on the side, but this kind of like drive around, see what's up. So
I think Mario Kart 8 and Deluxe, I think they're really good looking games. Like I think on Wii U, I think it was, at the time, it was a really good looking game.
Sure, yeah.
And I used to go to like, time trial and check out the race, the courses, just to kind of, I would just like, go really slowly and just kind of look at the detail. Because like, I was like, they put so much detail into these courses and you don't even see half of this stuff. It's like, there's like one stage with like, cherry blossom trees and everything like that. You just like zoom straight past it. You don't see any of that detail. I always used to like to look at that kind of stuff. And like when the DLC, they released fucking 96 DLC courses. I would do that for that as well. And I think, Nintendo kind of got the idea. It's like, okay, people like these courses and the detail that we put into them. It's like, why not let them just drive wherever they want and connect them all together? And it's like, I'm really glad they did that, because it's almost like what I was imagining. I was hoping they were going to do is something like this, where I could explore these courses that they put so much effort into and then don't let you see half of it.
Right.
Because like there's a YouTube channel, I think it's called Boundary Break. I don't know if you guys have seen that one.
Yeah, I love that channel.
Yeah, they've done a lot of boundary breaks of Mario Kart 8 and showing all the stuff that they put behind that you literally cannot see in the game. Like you literally will never see it. You can only do it if you do it. you hack the game and put like a camera in it that you can control yourself. So you can kind of almost see like the evolution, like how we got here to Mario Kart World. It's like, I'm so glad that they finally got there.
Sure. One interesting article I read today from the Washington Post, Gene Park. I don't know if you guys know. He is
never heard of him.
Yeah, and good writer. And he had interviewed the producer for World, who is also the producer since like Mario Kart Wii. And the producer, he doesn't go out and say like this is a open world Mario Kart. Another thing that they had mentioned too, it's like from the start menu, you still have very specific things saying like single player, multiplayer, and online, like things that are like familiar for people. And I think free runs in there as well. But like essentially, kind of like what the guy was basically trying to say is like there's something in here for everybody. Like if you're a guy like Ty, I mean, I'm not trying to like say Ty, duh, it's for you. No, but like it seems like they're trying to make this like appeal to all sorts of different types of gamers. And like, you know, Haitani, he has a comment here as well. And he said, you know, I heard in a video today, somebody played Mario Kart World on a preview event with that switch to camera. The person's camera feed is on top of their character the entire game. And he said that way you can see the person's facial reaction straight up when they get hit by blue shells. I mean, that's kind of funny stuff, cute
That's
stuff.
a good feature.
Yeah, and I think, yeah, you could do that stuff online with your friends and stuff like that too. And like that's type of stuff that it's kind of fun to see, you know? So I think Nintendo's kind of just going all out with this, and it's going to be, well, I don't know, it's going to be interesting to see if it pays off. It probably will. Getting a Mario Kart out on their system as early as possible is always a good idea. I mean, if you think about the Switch 1, yeah, it was Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and it was like it's not a completely brand new game, but they added enough stuff in there, enough changes from the Wii U version to, you know, make it worth it for some people. But this is like the first brand new Mario Kart in over a decade, which is nuts. So yeah. Anyways, Gene say in the chat too. I'm assuming chatting with Ty in the chat.
Yeah.
There about some things.
I think Smash Ultimate and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe were kind of fixes of the Wii U games, weren't they?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, yeah, this is what they should have been.
Yeah.
Let's make it a little bit better. Well, yeah, a lot better sometimes. Like there wasn't a fucking like a battle mode in the Wii U version.
I know, and they fixed it.
Dumb.
Yeah, it was fucking stupid.
It's like let's do a balloon battle on a regular course. Like what?
Yeah.
Have you played Mario Kart before? Like who thought of this?
Yeah, it was stupid.
But anyway,
yeah.
Oh yeah, is balloon battle and stuff like that confirmed for this?
I think I read something about that today. Same article. Again, you know, it's. I don't want to get too much into this.
Are they going to put the battle arenas like in that world? Like you have to drive to the battle arena areas or something?
I don't know. We'll find out. Let's not get too much into that because, like, you know. Yeah. And then Gene said, "Yeah, it is." Yeah. Anyway, let's not get too much into that because, like, depending on when people listen to this, because like literally we're hours away from the launch.
People are playing Mario Kart World while listening to this and
Might
saying,
be.
What a bunch of fucking assholes.
Yes.
Dumbass. Yep.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah. Let's see. I think that was about it. I guess just you know, aside from Mario Kart, I mean, Ty, you're kind of still waiting to see what kind of a game that you might be interested in playing. But JC, outside of Mario Kart, what are you interested in with the Switch too?
I want to like play Donkey Kong so bad. It looks so fucking good, man. Yeah. I just want to destroy the world. I want to reform Mars with Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Right?
Dude, yeah.
It's it looks really good. I love how expressive I think that's something that's in Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong is the expressiveness of the characters. Yep. Like Mario Kart World, they seem to have made everyone very kind of squishy, almost like made out of Play-Doh, almost something. Like everyone has facial expressions. I know the Luigi death stare was a thing, but like
that's a good meme.
That was just like, you know, just his eyebrows going downwards.
Right.
It wasn't really a facial expression. So, but this is like, you know,
there's a bit of a frown as well.
Yeah. They're really expressing. They are like, yeah, deforming the whole face and, you know, doing all sorts of crazy stuff. And like people have noticed that they track eye movement with the camera. And yeah, so like when you win, like the camera will the character will actually do their gestures and stuff towards the camera, like or wave and look at the camera and stuff like that. Yeah, I just remember wasn't there a patent like a while back? I think we talked about it on the show where it's like sound appearing from where, you know, like the microphone, or I think it was microphone or game audio being like, you know, dynamic. And that makes a lot of sense for Mario Kart World, doesn't it? Like if you're playing online, if you're in the free roam mode with all your friends and you're all talking, like hearing people behind you or next to you and stuff like
that might have been in that developer direct, not developer direct, the developer essentially Iwata asks.
Iwata asks, yeah. Developer asks, yeah. So that's cool. I want to see how that works out.
Sure. No,
for game now, it's going to be off the charts cool for that.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, when
I don't know when we can all play with our patrons, when they're all going to get Switch 2s.
Right. Well, hopefully by the next one we'll have them all. But JC, I mean, for me too, and Ty even mentioned this. I think whenever exactly what you just said, James. Like I'm interested in Donkey Kong, very interested. I'm more interested in that than I am Mario Kart. And like you and like Ty said before too, I really like how expressive they make Donkey Kong in that game. Like that's awesome. Again too, like you said, just being able to destroy the ground and like do all that type of stuff is really cool. And I'm so glad that they're doing a 3D Donkey Kong. And
we still don't know the development team, but it's 99% sure it's the Odyssey team.
Sure, maybe
the Mario
probably.
team.
Yeah. Regardless, I mean, it looks awesome. I don't care who's making it. I'm gonna buy it. Day one probably. And
for third party, I think I'm looking at Street Fighter 6. I mean, I've heard
really?
talk about it for so long. It's like, I mean, this is wild, but like the last Street Fighter game on a home console, on a Nintendo home console, like at launch. Well, this isn't even at launch, but like we've had Street Fighter 2 on the SNES, and then nothing until now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about it. There's Street Fighter 3 not on any Nintendo.
You could
Street Fighter 4, 3DS.
Yeah,
not really.
It's a handheld. So I mean, it's different, and yeah.
So it's like 2. Thanks for playing 6. That's Street Fighter on Nintendo home consoles. It's absolutely wild to me.
Yeah,
absolutely wild.
Yeah. For third party stuff, I'm interested in trying out. Even though I already own it, Final Fantasy VII Remake. I was actually talking to some buddies this weekend, like who have, I think, both played it. I don't remember, but I was like, man, I really want to, get Final Fantasy VII Remake on Switch 2, even though I already have it on PlayStation 4. But I think for me, what the Switch has kind of done for me is made it so I usually don't play games as often on the TV. So I'm usually playing games in handheld, which makes it so I can't play so much stuff on my TV, especially PS5 or Xbox. So it's like those systems kind of go unused unless like my wife's not home or in bed, or if I'm playing via remote play, which is spotty with those. So yeah,
looks good.
I
mean, potentially, maybe not for like 120,000 yen or whatever it'll cost at launch.
Not cheap.
One day down the line. I'm more likely to play it now on Switch 2 than I was previously.
Right.
So yeah. I mean, Street Fighter 6. The Digital Foundry guys said it runs like pretty much the Xbox Series S version.
Okay.
But portably.
Sure.
So because there was a PS4 version of that, right?
Ty.
Of Street Fighter 6, right? Is that right? Was there a previous generation version of Street Fighter
6? I don't remember.
Okay. Yeah.
PS4? I think so? Question mark.
Xbox, the one before Series X.
One.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does it run on one? I don't know. I never tried. I think it has to be Series.
Yeah, but anyway, they discovered that some of the muscle deformation stuff is not in it, which puts it more like the PS4 version.
Yeah, it's PS4. Just confirmed it is on PS4.
But the backgrounds and some of the background features and background characters and stuff are the same as Series S. So it's kind of like between a PS4 and Series S version of Street Fighter 6, basically. Which I think is pretty awesome for a fucking portable console that you can play on the train.
True.
Yeah. Have you got a Pro controller? Danny, you got a Switch 2 Pro?
I got one ordered. Yes.
You got one ordered? Okay.
Yeah.
That's something I'm worried about. I don't know if we're doing a worried about section, but that's
we could do that for a second. Yeah, sure. And then
I really hope that D-pad is fixed. Man. I'm gonna go straight to Pac-Man and see if it works. That's the game to try to test it out on, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, I mean, obviously, I played a lot of Tetris 99, and like they put some kind of a feature into the game that basically made it so the D-pad isn't shit. And I'm trying to remember exactly how they did it, but it makes it so it's not bad. But typically, again, when I'm playing that game, I'm usually playing in handheld, so it really doesn't matter for me. But yeah,
it's dumb. I mean, yeah, I don't really play many D-pad games other than like, Pac-Man, which is what brought it,
Sure.
to the forefront of my gripes with that controller.
Well,
but now
I'm getting
you can't even play Pac-Man 99 anymore.
Yeah, well, I'm getting the Switch 2 GameCube controller, so I'll probably just play every D-pad game with the GameCube D-pad. Gross. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Just as God intended.
Yes. Well,
so Danny, I did have a little quick thing to go through.
Okay.
I told you about previously.
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, this is something that people listening might be experiencing as they're listening to this. But so these are launch system problems. So just the last maybe 3 generations of Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, like what were the biggest problems they had at launch? Obviously, for Xbox, we have Ty to either confirm or deny these problems.
Sure.
Nintendo, Danny obviously had it, all of them at launch. PlayStation, I don't know. Please understand.
I had most of it, aside from PS5. I didn't have PS3 at launch, but
okay.
Anyway.
So Ty, Xbox Series X 2020. So some people reported controller disconnections, error codes, and unexpected shutdowns.
Yeah, nothing springs to mind, really.
You didn't have any of those? Okay.
No.
Yeah, some consoles were reportedly crashing during game launches, and some console breaking bugs, apparently, some of the launch systems. Not for Ty. Xbox One released in 2013. It had there were some outages of Xbox.com and Microsoft's website affecting user access.
I kind of remember that, like when everybody like jumped on it once.
And
the capacity and network issues.
The mandatory Kinect integration faced a lot of backlash due to.
Yeah, I think that anything mandatory with Kinect was like called off kind of last minute. Like you never actually needed to hook up Kinect.
And
a lot of people did though, and it was really funny for online play.
Well, I mean, even to some of the 360 stuff that you've told us in the past, like you're playing something and somebody forgets they're on mic and is like, "I love you."
Like, oh yeah, no, that was on Kinect. Like I was listening to everything going on in someone's house.
Or ordering pizza on other people's consoles, right?
Changing your username to Xbox Turn Off. Why is this guy's named Xbox Turn Off? And then they disconnect from the game. That was so good. You can find that on YouTube.
And then Xbox 360, obviously, I think we all know this one. The dreaded Red Ring of Death. I mean, that wasn't a launch problem. That was a fucking entirety of the console's lifetime.
I had one.
It was more like the first half of like the OG model of the Xbox 360. Yeah.
Yeah, I had it happen to me, I think, twice.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah. It only affected 99% of Xbox 360 users, so it was fine.
Yeah. Other than that, great system.
So PlayStation 5, some people had rest mode crashes, data transfer problems, and DualSense controller malfunctions. Danny, you have a PS5, right?
Yeah, I haven't even had it for a year, and I just played baseball on it and have some games downloaded that I just haven't played, so great.
You haven't had it? Okay. Well, you didn't get it at launch, right? So
no,
they would have been fixed anyway.
No, I don't know. The battery life on that controller blows.
PS4, apparently the launch system had some HDMI issues, HDMI port issues, preventing video output requiring replacements.
I had one of those at launch. Had no problems with that.
Okay. Some people had data corruption, game crashes, and basically lackluster launch lineup. I don't know if that counts as a launch. Well, yeah, that is a launch issue, I guess. So with Switch, so Joy-Con connectivity problems. Well, screen scratches from the dock and dead pixels. Don't remember the dead pixel thing.
Me too. Screen scratches from the dock. Yeah, hell yeah, that happens a lot.
Yeah.
My OG unit is scratched to shit.
Really? Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's fine.
I mean, it's just maybe it's hard to kind of even see, but I could maybe even just pull it up here. Just some like very specific parts of the system. Yeah, it's gonna be a bit too hard. A black on with light and stuff, but like yeah, it's kind of screwed up on certain parts of the screen, like specifically like on the bevels on the side and stuff like that. You can
okay, I see.
Yeah,
and obviously Joy-Con drift was literally never fixed.
Right.
Literally never fixed for the entire how many years? 7 years, 8 years. And it's crazy because there was that YouTuber who's like, he got like a little bit of foam and he said like, put the foam here, it fixes everything. Nintendo, over to you. And they said, yeah, cool video, mate. We're not going to do anything about that.
Yeah.
So it's crazy how easily that can be fixed and how they just did not give a fuck.
Yeah.
So for Wii U, this is something that may affect the Switch 2 launch. So the biggest gripe with the Wii U launch were, long loading times, system freezing, gamepad connectivity issues. But the biggest one was the lengthy initial firmware update, which, people were just spending hours updating their consoles because everyone was doing it. And, Nintendo servers are, not the best. So that is something that I did think could happen with Switch 2.
Yeah.
Because like this is even way more popular than the Wii U will be probably. Like they'll probably sell more than the Wii U in like the first fucking weekend.
Or even that too.
Like how much was Wii U in total? Like global? Was it
13 million, I think?
13 million. I mean 13 million. That'll be like fucking July.
Yeah.
They'll have sold the Wii U, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people I mean I know they're kind of like reducing the amount of people that can actually get it on day one by these fucking stupid lottery things. But
right.
We're still looking at at least 2 million people at launch, 3 million.
But it's just here. I mean,
so
globally,
5 million day one?
Who knows? I'm not sure. That'd be a lot of people.
So
I mean, the good thing
let's
is,
just say conservatively, 3 million people all downloading the same patch day one at the same time.
Good thing is time zones are a thing. So I mean, that's a thing too. So I'm kind of worried because I'll be setting up my Switch after work tomorrow when people start doing it in America, which is a huge market for Nintendo. So it's like, oh man, like might be screwed. But
yeah, I don't remember. I mean, pre-internet connected consoles, I don't think there were that many huge problems. Like before that, like GameCube, 64, I don't recall anything.
Get your system and just plug it in, man. Like, I mean, then like with that stuff, you might have had some people might have defective units, or like you think, but DS might have a dead pixel or something like that. But
yeah, it's definitely becoming more prevalent with the the last three. That's why I chose the last 3 generations, because that's what you have to deal with. And like forcing internet, you to connect to the internet before you can do anything. If you're not ready for that, it could be pain. Right. So maybe people are listening to this while their Switch 2 is updating on day one, and they're like, what's going to finish first, this podcast or your fucking update? Let us know in the comments below.
Got another 10 hours to go here. Just to catch up on comments just a little bit. Jinsei and Haitani are talking about PS5 controllers, actually. And first Haitani said, like, hey, my PS5 didn't have any issues, but the controller stick started drifting. I'm on my 3rd controller. And then Jinsei 64, he says, like, yeah, man, stick drift is an issue in general this generation. My Series X pad started drifting, and I'm sad. So, Ty, does your Xbox controllers have any issues? You all good?
I have worn out several because I play for thousands and thousands of hours, and
different.
I've never had any problems with stick drift. The first part that fails is the shoulder button for me. Yeah. There's like DIY fix for them. I just get another controller.
Sure. Okay.
So yeah, good luck to you, Danny.
Thank you.
Good luck to everyone listening. Good luck to you all.
Yep.
Hope you can get updated. This week.
Yes, I hope so too. All right, but I think that's going to bring Switch 2 and Switch 1 talk to a close for you video viewers. We're going to go ahead and move on to a little bit of anime trash with Ty. For audio viewers, we're going to go ahead and close out the show. But before we do that, JC, you got to bounce?
Yeah, boy. Good episode, guys.
Yeah. Yep.
Looking forward to next one, seeing Danny's new games.
Hopefully I can be updated by then. We'll see. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Still waiting on my update. Can't boot up the system yet.
That's right. All right, guys. Take it easy.
All right. See you, James.
Enjoy that anime track.
Yep.
Yeah. We have some good trash.
Let's go.
All right. Yeah. Sadly, a couple of boxes did not make it today. They'll be arriving tomorrow.
You got a whole bunch of boxes behind you. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, I could spend like all day like opening these, and it'll be like stuff from years past.
It'll be like, oh, my glasses. Oh, cool, my plates.
No, it's all anime. You know
okay.
it.
Okay.
All right. So here's the first box, Molly Online. I've already got it opened, and I've got some weird shit for you. You'll never guess what is in here.
Okay. You mean like not
No,
normal...
like not the usual anime girl bullshit.
This is an anime girl that looks like an octopus.
That is a very good guess, but no, this is an official Sumiko Garashi digital camera.
Whoa, what?
Yeah.
All right.
Right here. Do you know what Sumiko Garashi is?
Yeah, it's a little cute thing with cute characters.
Yeah, the cute little characters for little kids. And, I like them. Whatever. Don't judge me. And so I guess this is the blue one. So it's like Tokage. Right? He's my favorite. He's a lizard. Or she. I don't think they have gender.
Okay.
So, yeah, I have some sort of amazing cheap digital camera.
Does it take an SD card or something? Or
I don't know.
Floppy disk?
I just saw that would be sick. Huh?
Yo, I think maybe I had.
Oh yeah, it says it uses micro SD cards.
Damn, I was hoping for floppy disks.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's got like a pretty big display on it.
Yeah,
but I mean, it wasn't a UFO catcher. How nice can it be?
Right, but kids would probably have fun with that.
It looks like it has like built-in frames and filters or something.
Oh, that's fun. Okay.
This reminds me of when I was a kid in like the late 80s and I had a Ninja Turtles camera that would put a fucking Ninja Turtle in the corner of every photo you had developed at Kmart.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was sick.
Man, I would have loved that.
Yep. All right. So I got one more box, kind of big. And it's from Capcom.
Why are you opening this? I'll get caught up
here.
I'll get caught up here in the chat real quick. Gene says it's the best segment of the podcast. Yeah.
Ooh.
And Ty is, according to Haitani, he's known as the Ghost of Gigo.
Yes. The Ghost of Gigo. I love it. Casper of Capcom. The I need more words for ghost with alliteration.
Yes.
Oh. All right. So, yeah, I'm definitely gonna try out that camera. Maybe I'll bring it to work.
Lemonade likes it. Cool camera.
Yeah. All right. Okay, we got some cool shit in here. Let's see here. All right. I got one for Jinsei. He's gonna love this one. I do too. I actually spent some money to get this one because I wanted it.
Uh-oh.
It's a figure.
Uh-oh.
And it's not some bullshit anime girl.
Okay.
It's mag fucking neato.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, it's sick. Got the poses, looking dramatic. Haha, welcome to die.
Cool. So it's an
Antique.
actual figure. It's not like a statue.
Yeah.
Or
I don't think it's
posable.
posable in any way.
Okay. Okay.
Non-posable.
Okay.
And he's reunited with his son.
Nice.
Mag fucking neato.
Nice.
All right.
Dude, High Tiny came up with some names for you too. The
Nice.
Spectre of Sega and the Terror of Taito.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
There is a Sega UFO catcher site, but they don't really give out free tickets.
No.
What else? You know, I'm not sure, but I think maybe I got this one before. This is a Supersonico bikini. I guess it's a desktop or noodle stopper. It says noodle stopper.
Okay.
So yeah, I have a pretty good collection of Supersonico figures from before I was playing UFO catchers online.
Right. Don't come in, Mom.
Right? I love Supersonico. You should play the game.
Is it? What's it on?
PC, maybe some consoles. I don't know.
Okay.
You can also play as her in the hit fighting game Nitro Plus Blaster.
Okay.
She has cat.
Oh.
All right, here's another figure. It's another bunny girl figure. This is a recolor of one that I got before, and it's kind of gigantic.
Yeah, it's pretty damn big.
Yeah, and it's green.
Yeah. Your favorite color, right?
Yeah, my favorite anime of all time, Sword Art Online.
Especially season 2.
Yeah, especially. Right.
Every time.
Yeah, I wonder if they've been making any more Sword Art Online bullshit. Maybe I should revisit it.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, just a few things today. But yo, how about that digital camera? I am gonna try that out. I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Like, yeah, you should post about that. Like, post about your findings on that in the Discord. Just be like, yo, this is what came out of anime trash. It is not what you think. This is for children.
Mm-hmm.
We're a family-friendly podcast. We're the family cast, for crying out loud. So,
right? Yeah, like you know, I got this anime trash here, but the Tokage camera, that's the shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, and it has a micro USB cable included. That's very nice.
Cool.
Sick. Okay. All right. Tune in next week, where you're gonna see some more weird shit. I know because I already won it.
Oh boy. Yeah. And Jinsei says, "Hey man, where the DVD goodies at, man?"
Yeah, I have gotten some Dead by Daylight stuff over the years from UFO catchers. Like I got the throw pillows, I got the little minifigures, I got the generator figures.
Right.
I think I got a towel.
Really?
I think I got a trapper towel.
Okay. Yeah, man, and this isn't necessarily for UFO catchers and stuff like that, but like, yeah, it is kind of surprising, like over the past like 5-6 years, how it's kind of becoming a norm. Kind of, you can see like Dead by Daylight merch at like what is essentially kind of like what we would call in America like the Spencer Gifts of like Japan. Like, oh shit, what? There's a store that's usually at shopping malls. Oh my god, Village Vanguard.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say Don Quixote.
No, I haven't seen any at Don Quixote, but it's kind of like you find it at shopping malls and stuff like that. They have a bunch of stuff and like
they had a pop-up cafe a while back.
Yep.
And not too long ago they released an anime character killer, the Tokyo Ghoul.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then Springtrap is coming out next week.
Cool.
For Freddy fans. There you go.
There it is. Alrighty. All right. Well, that looks like it's going to do it for the trash.
Yep.
And that is actually going to do it for the Famicast 294. Before we go ahead and leave, we're just going to go ahead and let you guys know how you can get a hold of us, all that type of stuff. First of all, if you want to follow us on social media, you can. We're at the Famicast. The Famicast. You can find us on Bluesky and over on Twitter. You can follow us on just check out our website, thefamicast.com. News updates, interesting articles, stuff like that. Obviously, if you're watching on YouTube, you can find us there. Podcast apps, stuff like that. Just search for the Famicast and you can find us. For us individually, you can find us as well. If you want to follow me on social, oops, wrong one here. If you want to follow me on social, that's the wrong one too. Damn it.
Wow.
Okay, whatever. Genki's going to be on here too. If you want to follow me on social media, you can. It's at DannyBiv, DANNYBIV. Ty, where can the fine folks find you?
Super Cat Drugs on platforms and also the Nikkei social app.
What about blah 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 link?
Yeah, blah blah link.
What are you known as now?
It's still Doro the Diver from last time. I'm fingers crossed they bring back the Dave the Diver collab this summer.
Okay,
we'll see.
Yeah. If you guys want to follow JC, you can follow him over on Bluesky at Famicomplicated. Genki too, if you guys want to follow him. If you watching this, you probably already follow him, but just in case you don't, Genki's great. You can follow him. He's actually gonna help me out with a kind of a small project I'm working on for Switch 2 launch stuff. So look forward to that. While I stall here for just a second while I get up the closing thumb thingy, boom. Here we go. All right. Again, that's going to do it for the show. Ty, thanks a lot, man, for coming on. JC,
my pleasure.
Already gone. But we will catch you guys next time.
Enjoy your Switch 2.
Hell yeah. Like and subscribe.
Join the Discord.
Join the damn Discord. Yes. Peace.